Alright, well we're back once again, third time lucky. It's like one of those disastrous theatre plays where someone throws up on the stage but the show must go on, as they say. So, just gonna let the AOR admins know that we're back live, and the lobby's being refilled and the custom grid being done, and we will be ready to go racing hopefully very shortly.
Yeah. Just hoping I can get myself in the lobby, and we are in.
Absolutely.
Oh, hallelujah! Third time lucky, we are back.
Well, for anybody watching, a workaround if you can't join the lobbies on this game repeatedly is just to restart the game, but also run your network test on the PS4, and that seems to cure it for at least for a while.
Yeah. So a bit of advice there. Of course, there's still teething issues with the game, of course. So this is to be expected, but
Yeah.
hold out. That Cody's will patch the issues, of course. Now, I think they've actually turned. This is just going to go straight into the race. No formation lap. Safety car on.
Yeah, probably for the best. I mean, who knows? It might be the safety car. Not safety car, the formation lap. But
Yeah.
to be fair, we were kicked out before quali finished.
We were kicked out with 5 minutes to go in qualifying, I think. So
Yeah.
whatever that is. We're back.
Maybe the real reason qualifying was 12 minutes last season was because the game couldn't handle any more time.
Ooch. Yeah. But of course.
And a warm welcome to those who have rejoined the chat.
Yeah.
Fortunately, we have no idea who was on pole position, but I suspect. Actually, I might just ask. Actually, one moment.
It's probably going to be between Michael, Alex, David, and Ollie. I'd give a guess.
I would imagine so. They seem to have a few more tenths on the rest of the field already at this early stage. It's pretty crazy how quick uplead speed these guys have got.
I know. So we are getting ready to begin a race. We promise this time. Third time lucky, of course. Welcome to all who are rejoining the stream, of course. We're doing the Spanish Grand Prix. Spanish? God, I'm falling asleep already. Belgian Grand Prix, wake up. Okay, they have to. I think they were just changing a few lobby settings. Formation lap is back on.
Spanish Grand Prix, funny looking Spain. Although I've actually been to a Spanish Grand Prix myself, and it was a cracking time last year. I'd highly recommend it. Value for money wise, even though the track's not the best, value for money wise, you can't really beat it. General admission.
Yeah, I had I was due to be at Spa last year. I was supposed to be at the grandstand at the bottom of Eau Rouge. That's where I was supposed to be. So gutted I couldn't go, but things happen. So hopefully I'll get back another year.
Right, let's build the excitement up again. The countdown is on, and we're about to return to Spa-Francorchamps, hopefully for no more interruptions, no more commercial breaks. We're about to go racing in Apex Online Racing.
Losing your hair?
That could become a thing as the season goes on, but hopefully not. It's just a phase. The balding, that is.
Yeah, that might be the new trending thing. Hashtag losing your hair.
Well, if anyone wants to get that done, then feel free, but I will...
Get that trending. Hashtag losing your hair. Question mark.
Absolutely. Well, of course, the source hairpin. Very tight turn one. I'm surprised we see a little bit of carbon fibre flying off towards the corner. Then the run down to El Rouge. It's a very short distance from the start finish to La Source, only 271 metres. It's one of the shortest start finish straights in Formula 1. What is your sort of approach to the La Source hairpin when you're racing?
Well, I mean, when you're starting the race, it's just kind of clench and hope you don't get taken out, because it's a very wide part of the circuit as well, and it also kind of dips at the wall. There is a dip in the surface of the road, so it's off camber. So you really kind of want to be on the as far to the inside as possible, so you don't get clouted on the outside like Fernando Alonso did in 2012.
Oof.
So
Yeah, that was one of the scariest near misses I've ever seen. I mean, I could understand the halo being in existence for something like that.
yeah, so we're counting down to get into the lobby, into the formation lap now. Let's hope.
Yeah, and we can have a look, see what tyre strategies are on. I'm really hoping the tyre counter works to effect, because that's going to be a very useful tool. One of the better additions to the spectator mode.
Yeah. So I think we're just waiting for the countdown to begin. I think.
Yep.
So, you see the cars are on the grid.
Yeah, calm before storm. There's a Toro Rosso on the front.
That's Alex, I think.
That would be Alex, yeah.
And it looks like
there's a Mercedes on.
Michael. I think that's Michael in third.
Yep, I believe he was in a Mercedes. Yeah, Michelangelo. Well, formerly Michelangelo. Now he's called just Michael.
And I think there's a Alfa Romeo Sauber in P5. I think that's Big Parenta there. So we'll kind of fill in the gaps there. Force India on the second row.
Right.
So yeah, David.
Here we go then. So let's do our rundown of the grid. So on the first row we have Alex in pole position and Tunisia in the Force India alongside him. Row 2 we have Michael and Ollie D in McLaren. Then on row 3 we have Prenta for Sauber, Force India, the Eagle. And then we have Jake LFC on row 4 for Williams, alongside him the other Mercedes of Tim Palm. Then row 5 we have Curly Whirly and Musica, and we have McGrady and Don Silva making up 11th and 12th. 13th and 14th Game Boy and Lightning Gasly. Then we have 15th and 16th Rich De Thomas, Frandy Thompson and Melazzoni in 17th and 18th, and making up the rear at the back of the grid is Decker and Advanced Apple for Sauber. So let's have a quick look at their tyres. Any interesting tyre choices from you, Soup, outside the top 10?
I have noticed actually our pole position man's gone on the softs, which is a very interesting choice. Let's have a look. Yep, Alex on the softs. David and Michael gone for the super softs. Alternating strategies, of course, since they didn't do a qualifying, they actually do have free choice of tyres all across the grid. So Alex is on softs, Ollie D softs. I've noticed Don Silva has gone for the medium compound tyres. He's going to be going deeper into this race, but everybody outside the top 10 has not opted for the super softs. There's a lot of varying strategies here.
Yeah, lots of variety in strategy. Historically, in F1 2016 and F1 2017, it was a one-stop strategy here in a 50% race, and I would expect that would be the same case here. It's quite a lot of pit loss time here, somewhere between 20 to 25 seconds, although that you have to cut off a few seconds because of the way the pit exit cuts off the La Source hairpin, so it can be very nip and tuck if people are on very similar strategies. Undercut not quite as powerful here as it is at some of the other power circuits, but it can still play a significant factor. And of course, we don't know how the undercut's going to be on this new game.
Yeah, it's all a step into the unknown, but we'll see how it goes. Alex is going to be lining up on pole position in Toro Rosso Honda. Alongside him will be David in the Toro Rosso, but Michael, I think, has actually left the session. He's having connection issues, so
yep, just saw
he's not
that.
going to get off the grid. He's back, actually. Let's hope he can get back in just before the start. Ollie D lines up fourth in the McLaren, and a Big Parenta in P5. That is a really tasty top 5, if I say so myself.
It really is. Alex calmly contemplating his next move from the front of the grid. Hopefully it gives me a better view than this.
Yeah, I think we're... Here we go. 5 red lights for the first race on F1 2018. It's lights out and away we go. It's a good start from Alex, it's a good start from David. They all squirm for position down towards turn number 1, 4 wide almost in the background, and David gets the jump on Alex into turn number 1. That's a great move from the Force India. Big Parenta is through into third position as Michael falls by the wayside as he has connection issues. Ollie D falls behind, Curly Whirly's behind. They're going side by side up Eau Rouge, and that is a good move, I think. Curly Whirly up towards Radion. He's trying to square position. There's cars spread out all over the place at the top of Radion and down towards the Kemmel Straight, down towards Lake Com. All spread. He got 3 wide between the Haas, the Force India, and the McLaren. Eagle tries to go around the outside of Ollie D. He has to cut the corner. There's still 3 wide behind, and there's been a bit of contact, forcing it off into the gravel trap, and there's absolute chaos behind Ali.
Yes, the top 3 have already broken away from Let's Curly. 1.8 seconds between 3rd and 4th, but yeah, there was 3 wide going into Lacombe and then down to Rivage as well. And yes, it was a Force India of Eagle who got forced off there, we just saw, and now through Pouon they go for the first time. It's been a really good start for the Mercedes team. Has Michael retaken control of his car? He has, so that's something in the game that's working at least, so that is absolutely brilliant. So glad Michael got back into the race, although he'd be kicking himself that he lost his 3rd place, but at least it's only a social race. So heading through Blanchimont for the first time, Tunisia has actually broken out DRS range already, so Alex is on the soft compounds and Tunisia on the super softs. So I would imagine Alex would have qualified on the super softs, so maybe because of the social race, everyone just had a free choice of tyres as it's just a social race. But and there's contact, big contacts.
I think the two Mercedes came together. Tim Parham, Michael, and somebody else got involved there. And look at the amount of cars coming down towards the first corner.
Ollie
D is the first retirement, and where has he gone off?
Oh, I think he got swiped on the start-finish straight, I believe. It's not actually letting me select the retirees.
Prenta, huge moment at the top of Radion. Gasly's also out as well, and there's just so much stuff happening at this point in time. It could barely keep up. Maybe something going on here between Michael, Musica and Jake. Down the inside goes Michael on the Ferrari. Can he make that one work? Ferrari holds it on the outside of Lecom, and Ferrari just about holds on there. But yeah, as you said, Tunisia holding on. He's broken out of DRS range. Prenta was right on the back of him for quite a while there, but he just lost a bit of time up Radion there.
Yeah, I don't think Alex will be panicking though, as long as he keeps the gap, maybe 2 seconds. Now, someone's left the session now, so it's going to be interesting to see if we still have, the dreaded slipstream glitch from previous games. So that was one of my pet peeves of the previous games, hopefully. And Musico with a brilliant move down the inside. Jake, can he stick it? And yes, he does. Jake slightly caught off guard by him, and that is Musico up to 5th for Ferrari. Jake, I don't think he was expecting the move, and he was really caught off guard, and that's actually put him out of shape, and that may allow Michael to have an attack at him at Blanchimont.
Yeah, brilliant move from Jake, very audacious. Here comes Michael. He's trying to look down towards Blanchimont. He's trying to find the space. There's no room there, Michael. And they're going to go through Blanchimont. It was a twitchy moment for the Williams. Almost heart-stopping moment. I think the Williams going to come back at music. Get down the inside of the bus stop. There's a lot of squeezing going on. Down the inside goes the Williams. Ferrari still on the inside. Watch for Michael as we exit the bus stop. Also look out for McGrady, who's behind in the Renault. They're almost 4 wide coming down towards the first corner here into La Source. DRS is enabled. Michael looking for the move on the Williams. This is absolutely mad.
And Michael and the Williams make contact. Now they're gonna go side by side into Eau Rouge and Radion. Oh no, Jake slots in front of him, but he's made a real
car off.
Oh, it's that Ferrari. It's Musica. Musica has made a
behind. Rich hit the wall behind him as well.
Goodness me.
Wow, what is going on?
These new cars are really testing these drivers, some of them at least, to their limits already. And I didn't notice in all of that Alex has fallen down to 3rd place. So another Supersoft runner has got ahead of him. So the DRS and of course the ERS probably being used to good effect there on the Kemmel Straight.
Yeah, just as we were speaking there, Michael made a route move around the outside of Le Com at the end of the Kemmel Straight around Jake there. That was an excellent move from the Greek driver there. Now you can put the charge on. So Big Prenta has passed Alex into 2nd place, and now he goes chasing after Tunisia. Yes,
but Michael had a pretty difficult Pouon just now, and that's allowed Jake to sort of stay within that DRS. I think there is only still 2 DRS zones at Belgium, so one of which is on the Kemmel Straight, of course, and the other one on the start-finish straight. But Michael slowly eking out a little gap, just over half a second. Jake in the slipstream, so maybe, just maybe, the slipstream glitch has finally been eliminated. Another retirement. Wow, they're dropping like flies at the moment.
And Musica as well. Oh dear, he's gone off just towards Blanchimont there. He lost it on the exit of the double right. It looks like there.
Yeah, but unfortunately you can't manually select them anymore when they retire, so that's a shame. So we can't. It's more difficult to see, you know, what happened to them. So we're just on board with VP McGrady. So I'm going to just have a look, see who the biggest winners and losers were in terms of the race so far. Advanced Apple gaining 11 places from the back of the grid, and he's currently in 9th position. So what a brilliant start he is. And here comes Elite Game Boy though, launching an attack on his fellow Renault-powered car of McGrady.
Yeah, and also Jake just went down the inside of Michael, and they are battling hard, these two. Here comes Michael back down towards Brussels here. He has a little look. He really wants to fight with this Williams, and this Williams is really hampering his efforts right now, because Jake is doing an excellent job to just make sure he sticks his car in the right place. Here comes Michael down towards Pouon. Can he make anything work down here? I don't think so. Very difficult to make it work there.
Well, we got Don Silver and VP Tim. Oh, down the inside goes Michael. Can he make the move stick? There's slight wheel banging between the two, and Jake defending aggressively. He has run wide, and this is all allowing McGrady and Game Boy to get ever closer. It's a bit of a Jake train at the moment, Soup.
Yeah, absolutely. It's almost like the real F1. It's Williams backing everybody else up. So here comes Michael. He's going to be using his ERS to good effect here, getting a massive slipstream down towards Blanchimont. I don't think he's going to be able to make it work here, but wait for the bus stop. Jake's going to go defensive to the inside. Michael's going to have to make it work on the outside, but he'll change to the inside for the final bit of the bus stop chicane. Let's see if he can make it work. He's going to hang it around the outside, switch to the inside. Jake leaves as much space as he can, and look at McGrady behind in the Renault. He's going to get himself involved as well as we run down towards the source for the 5th time today. Here comes Michael once again. Can he make anything work? He's going to go hang it around the outside, but watch McGrady once again.
Yeah, McGrady looking for that sneaky move down the inside, but Michael wasn't quite forced across. But I'm on board. This is a thrill ride in the halo down the origin. What an amazing camera view that was. That was absolutely brilliant. And now Jake, well, he could be absolutely swamped here if he's not careful. He's going to have to defend for his life. This is an absolutely amazing battle.
Yeah, absolutely. McGrady it was almost a Mika Hakkinen Schumacher-esque. I think McGrady was going to go down the inside of both of those two guys there, but he just absolutely no space to work with there. I've also noticed Advanced Apple's up to 9th. He started in last today. So he's done a great job to get up the grid. Big
lock up of the tyres from Jake.
Oh,
he's really...
Just noticed as well, it's already coming across you. Alex has got back past Prenta.
So these super softs don't seem to be lasting very long, but maybe that is the nature of the new tyre model, because they're pushing so hard. On 2017 get away with it, but maybe they're just absolutely destroying their tyres early on, because it seems like the soft runners are beginning to come into the ascendancy. This is why McGrady looks so much quicker than Jake at the moment. Just a reminder of what tyres everybody's on. So for all of the tops, 5 of the top 6 have done 4 laps on the super softs. It'll be 5 laps of course on the end of this. But here comes McGrady launching an attack on Jake. They're going to go side by side through Blanchimont.
This is going to be a really tough one. Can he hang around the outside of Blanchimont? That was a brave one from McGrady down the inside of Blanchimont. But he has made it work. He's going to have to defend for his life now. But the softs, as you've said, seem to be just working best in this situation. In comes Michael and I think Jake as well. So now I think we're starting to see our first stops for the super soft runners. Let's see what he bolts on.
Oh, it's a double stack for Mercedes.
It is as well.
What on earth's going on here? Okay, that was...
No.
It was like one Mercedes gave birth to another. That's a very unfortunate image, but...
Yes, we had a spinner as well at the bus stop, which had Milanzi spin it round at the bus stop on the exit. He got going again, but he's broken a huge chunk of his front wing.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Eagle back up to 10th. Just going to see what tyres. So Michael's gone on to the medium, so looking to go to the end.
Oh, Eagle off at Radion. That's a huge accident. And Jake as well. What's happened to Jake? Dear oh dear, they're dropping like flies.
Well, cold tyres going up El Ridge and Radio. Maybe they just couldn't take it. It's a surprising amount of retirement, so they may have the 1 lap pace down already, but it seems like there's going to be a lot more to learn for some of these drivers in terms of the getting used to the race pace and the sort of handling model of this game. It's claimed some notable victims so far. So let's have a quick rundown of the top 10. It's Tunisia, Alex, Prenta, Curly Whirly, McGrady, Game Boy, Advanced Apple, Thompson, Michael, Melanzoni and Decker. And I think Tim Palm has had a glitch, which is why he's stuck in the pit, I believe.
Yep. So technically we've had 7 retirements from this Grand Prix. Also just noticed, there's been contact between Prenta and Curly. Prenta was trying to come into the pit lane. I think it was just a misunderstanding. He managed to keep it out of the wall. So Prenta comes in from 3rd position, the Season 15 F3 champion. Doing a good job to be up on 3rd against the likes of Alex, Tunisia and Curly. Let's see what he bolts onto this server.
I'm going to have a quick look at Advanced Apple, because that seems to be one of the close battle. Apple's, he's just quietly gone about his business, and he's avoided a lot of the carnage, and he could be on for a good, well, at least a position in the top 10. No points, of course, but a good morale-boosting start to his AOR campaign in pre-season. He's in DRS range of Game Boy, the Red Bull up ahead, and that is our closest battle on track at the moment. Some of the pit stop strategies yet to play out, but with all the retirements, this field could be quite broken up by the end of the race.
Yeah, we're on lap 7 of 22, in case you were wondering. So yeah, Advanced Apple starting from 20th on the grid is now up in 6th and fighting for 5th position. He's on the softs as well. And there are only 2 runners inside the top 10 still on those super softs, and that is Tunisia and Curly. And they're going to have to be making a stop very shortly, I would wager.
Yeah, let's have a look at Tunisia just to see how he's handling as the tyres get a bit warm. Also have a look at this battery, because it is something we can now see. On the telemetry, there's that sort of electric symbol with the 3. What is that referring to?
I haven't figured it out yet.
Is that the amount of time it's going to take to recharge? Well, I'm sure we'll find out. And Tunisia pits end from the lead of the AOR Social Race Belgium race lead, and that will promote Alex back up to where he started, and that is in 1st position.
Yep, so from what I've been seeing, it looks like a very simple one-stop, because everybody seems to be bolting on the mediums from those who started on the super softs. That puts McGrady up to 3rd, and the Game Boy and Advanced Apple are still going hammer and tong behind. He's going to come out just behind Game Boy, I think. It's going to be side by side up towards Old Rouge and Radion. I think Game Boy's just got ahead.
Just ahead of him. This could be very costly when Alex pits later, but he's going to have fresh rubber, and he's already alongside him, and he may zoom straight past him. We may see something like this in the real race with the Force India engine power. And Apple's taken advantage of Game Boy being distracted by the Force India, and he's just done a smart move down the inside. Up to 5th he goes. I mean, he's certainly putting himself into contention for driver of the day with his performance so far in the first stint.
Yeah, absolutely. He's really opportunistic there, noticing that Game Boy was out of position because he had to, well, he's been overtaken by Tunisia, so he followed through. He's on the soft tyres. He's still yet to make a stop, of course. So we'll just be keeping an eye on how far he goes into this race. But now Tunisia, he's got to find his way past McGrady. And Car Alex is now 4 seconds up the road. I think Curly is going to be the next car to pick, because those tyres are looking well past their sell-by date.
Right, well, we've just had Banker Bullet in the chat give us some very helpful indication of what the number means for the electrics. It's actually the mode for the ERS. So 1 is low, 2 is medium, 3 is high, 4 is overtake, and 5 is hot lap. So thanks for that. That clears that up.
That's very useful. Game Boy's coming back in Advanced Apple into the bus stop down the inside for the Red Bull. Let's see if they can make this one work. I think Advanced Apple's going to have the advantage on this one. Holds the inside and very nicely defends that one. Also, just up in front, Tunisia's already caught up to McGrady. He's gone down the inside of him into La Source, and that's going to be, I think, just an easy move. See you later. And away he goes, chasing after Curly.
Yes, but he's now going to be under threat, possibly, from DRS. If McGrady can get a decent exit, Radion, he could come back, and Tunisia, the back end. Medium's not quite working just yet. They do take a few laps. Tunisia's going to have to defend this, but I think McGrady's going to be up against it to take his place back, and I think Tunisia has got this move done.
Yeah, hold on. Just as we were chatting there, Game Boy had a spin down at the source, and now Michael gets past once again. I've also just been noticing as well, just on the onboard, down towards Blanchimont, and on certain corners, you can actually hear the sound of the barge board hitting the floor. You can hear the scratching sound of the car bottoming out. That's a really nice addition. Nice little detail.
I mean, in terms of the spectator mode, it looks pretty spectacular, I have to say, compared to last year's game. Yeah. So, you know, got to give Codemasters props for that. Yes, there are some issues with the game. Well, I'm sure they'll work on it. But we finally got some good racing action, and we've seen some pretty frenetic stuff, especially in the midfield. Now the big question is, how long is Alex going to go on his softs, and what is he going to pick? Oh, he's in.
He's in, and actually Curly managed to stay out at on the exact same strategy out on the super soft. So he's done a really long stint around Spa on those tyres.
Impressive.
So Alex is going to come in, and he's going to go for a set of the medium tyres.
Tanitsa is already on the start-finish straight. As
he's flying.
As Alex comes out, and he nearly got held by the Haas, but he just gets out inside. But I think, how close is this going to be? Alex is coming out now, but I think Tanitsa is going to be retaking the lead.
Watch out for McGrady. McGrady's going to get him, I think, as well. Down towards now, he backed out of that one because he hasn't actually stopped either. Neither has Advance Apple, nor has Frandy. Big Parenta has, of course. So Tanitsa out in front, Alex in second, but he has gained some time in the stops.
He has. Well, Tanitsa had to pass some cars with Torres, so he definitely lost at least. It was 2.2 seconds when he came in for his first stop, Tanitsa, so he's lost. Although he's actually got the gap back up to 2 seconds already, so Alex struggling to. Yeah, look at it, he's weaving the car, trying to get temperature into them. So that's you know, something you wouldn't normally see in F1 2017. So this new tyre model certainly having an effect. Drivers are going to have to be a bit more careful on the fresh rubber, not to push too hard, otherwise they might risk an off on the cold tyres.
Yeah, and just notice absolute disaster for Curly, stuck in his pit box.
Yeah, it seems to be another. Let's have a look at Curly. Yeah, it's an Australia-style disaster for the Haas team. Except the pit crew just haven't turned up for work today, so bad luck for the Haas team. That's certainly a glitch there. So 2.5 second gap between the top two, but Alex will have fresher mediums towards the end of the race. So I wonder if Tanitsa has taken anything out of it. Oh, another retirement.
Another retirement. Milanese is out as well. I don't quite see what's gone wrong there, but he's gone off. So we have 11 cars remaining, which means we've had 9 retirements from this race. Technically,
because of the glitches, we only have 9 running on track now, and the closest battle is McGreedy and Apple. And a pit stop for Andy Thompson. Then let's see, it's going to be another medium stop. So the popular strategy seems to be to go onto the mediums.
Yeah, it's a shame because Curly was trying an alternate strategy. He started on the super softs and switched to the softs.
So that would have been good to see.
Different.
Quite large gaps now, although Apple is closing in on McGrady. 10 laps each for the softs, so they're on the same strategy. But are they going to try and push a bit deeper into the race and finish on the super softs? I would like to see that if they can do it.
I think they might be able to. I think so those tyres, just looking on board with them, they are slightly blistered, but they are holding up very well. So these guys are managing the tyres very nicely indeed, managing the carcass temperature, keeping an eye on all the vitals. So I think they could really throw in a nice result for the two of them, considering Advanced Apple started in 20th on the grid.
Yeah, it's a very impressive first outing for him. So Alex seems to have got the tyres up to temperature now. He's taken a couple of tenths off Tanitsa, so there may still be a battle for the lead for this social race.
Yep, so I think Alex is starting to get his pace in a little bit now, because as he was trying to get the tyres to just up to temperature, he brought the gap up to 2.5. It's now sitting around 2 seconds, so they are relatively evenly matched on pace. So once we go deeper into this race, I think Alex, with the fresher mediums, might have a late charge for the lead. And Advance Apple in.
Yep. Let's hope the Sauber pit crew have turned up.
Yeah, that'll promote his teammate Prenta up to 4th.
It's just a sad Mercedes stood there. Right, come on Sauber team, do not let us down. Apple would not deserve a glitch now. He's had such a good race. So here we go then. It is, well, I thought it was super sauce for a moment, but actually it is the mediums, so that is the ever popular strategy. So that's, in terms of the pit stops, McGrady's the only driver who hasn't stopped yet, and I suspect the next lap he will be doing so, because Apple's got clear track, so if he can get those tyres working quickly, he might be able to undercut McGrady when he pits.
Yeah, and you can actually see him just on board with McGrady now. He is pushing hard. He's ramped up the AOR mode to mode 4, I think I can see on the steering wheel there. So he's pushing hard to try and make sure he comes out in front of Advanced Apple, or at least close enough to him that he can make the pass down towards the end of the Kemmel straight into Lake Calm. And I just noticed Alex is really pulling the gap on Tanitsa now. He's brought it down to 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, well, if Alex can close in DRS range, we may have quite a fantastic pre-season war for the race victory here. Although, just seeing what else is going on. No, I forgot that Frandy pitted a while ago, but closing on Apple quite quickly, so I wonder if Apple is struggling to get those tyres up to temperature, which wouldn't be the first driver we've seen struggling with that today.
Yeah, it seems that the outlap seems to be a lot tougher on the drivers now, because Frandy's had one lap to get those tyres up to temperature, and he's kind of stuck with Advanced Apple there, and you can see how much Alex is pushing there. He got the fast lap and it was quickly taken away by Curley in the pits. Is he still out on track and we're just not seeing that?
Well, Curley is up to 10th. Well, it could be a desync maybe.
Well, if he's managed to set the fast lap in the pit lane, round of applause.
Well, actually, are you looking at the race director and are you seeing, is he setting lap times?
It came up on my feed there that Curly were on the fast lap.
Well, if you have a look at the race director, just see if Curly's actually been setting laps, because according to the spectator mode, he is 3 laps down.
Yeah, I'll just have a look at that few lap times. Let's go to
now McGrady has extended his soft stint. It's on the longest stint of anybody on the softs today. It's on his 13th lap, so I think he's in range of that super soft strategy, because Curly, after all, got them going 8 laps. So I think... I
can confirm that Curly has been setting laps.
So must be a massive desync for us. It's probably not in the lobby.
Yeah, but he has been setting laps, and that was a genuine fastest lap for him. We're just not seeing him, which could mean that Tim is also out on track, but we just can't see.
Yeah, I would say so.
Well, there you go.
Well, so we do have 11 runners then out of the 20 years started. Some notable retirements, the likes of Ollie, and McGrady carries on. So he must be looking to do the super soft strategy. It's an impressive stint from him, although he is losing quite a bit of time, but he's going to be absolutely mighty on those super softs if he can get them up to temperature quickly.
Yeah, because he is getting caught quite quickly by Prenta. He's behind. He's going to lose a lot of track position, but he will be on the softest compound tyre. So that's going to help him towards the end.
Well, when McGrady pits, in terms of where he'll come out somewhere where Apple and Frandy Thompson is. So it could be a nice little scrap between those three.
Yeah, definitely could be in the final few laps. I think we're just have about 9 laps to go now. So let's have a tiny little battle brewing between Alex and Tanitsa. They're exchanging lap times between them, but Tanitsa out in front, in control, and is enjoying his clear track up front. But Alex has got tunnel vision. He's chasing after the Pink Panther up ahead of him, which is of course sponsored by Hype Energy, which was our sponsor for the F1 League last season, and is going to be once again, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it always seems to be that the championships are being won by the Force India carrying the Hype Energy sponsor.
Well, that's not a bad thing very well, or for Hype Energy if they get a lot of airtime for the Force India cars. But we're just watching Prenta. Prenta going a little bit close to the tyre walls out of the end of Sector 2. 1.6 second gap now to McGrady, so I would imagine McGrady will be pitting very shortly.
Yeah, Prenta definitely, I think, punching above his weight today. He's McGrady's in.
Yep, very impressive stint from McGrady.
Yep, 13 laps on a set of softs. I'm almost certain it's going to be the super softs for McGrady here.
Yeah, 14 laps completed on the softs.
Yep.
And it's got to be the super softs, and indeed it is. So this, oh, has he got a time penalty? Oh,
might have a 5 second. Oh no!
I think it's another visual glitch.
I think it's desynced. I think it's desynced again.
Yeah. Well, keep an eye on his times and see where he is. But
fantastic.
Yep. But I don't know if that's like a new slipstream glitch when people leave and then it just desyncs to lobby. But we shall see.
Got 3 guys who are desynced. I just noticing the gap up front, 1.1.
Yeah, just having a look at Tinitza. He's run slightly wide of pool and seems to be struggling a little bit for front grip. So he has got some extra laps on those mediums, but he would have, I mean, on F1 2017 they would have easily have gone to the end. So maybe Alex has just been saving some battery and is now coming strong at the Force India driver.
Yeah, he's in mode 3 at the moment from what I can see on the steering wheel, but he's just outside DRS range now. I'll just keep an eye on McGrady's times as well, just to make sure.
Well, Tinitza will know about the gaps now. The game will probably be telling him as well. So, a big lock up into what was the old bus stop. Through the chicane he goes then for the start of lap 16, and we're going to have a little bit of a battle. Oh, yellow's in sector 2. What's happened?
And that I think was for. It might. I can't actually. I don't know who it was for. Actually, I can't see. It was obviously very quick.
It must have been a quick spin somewhere in sector 2. My bet's probably Puon. But Alex was tantalisingly in DRS range almost, but then he fell out of it just before the activation points. He wasn't able to use it. So Tinitza just doing enough, but now he's back in DRS range again. So Tinitza's going to have to try and put a good sector 2 together to stay ahead of Alex in DRS, because you feel if he falls into the clutches of that DRS zone, especially with the battery that Alex is saving up, could be a very difficult challenge to just want to see how much battery Tinitza got. He's got less battery
than Alex. Yeah, you are correct on that one. I think Alex has just been managing the ERS a little bit more, using those modes to good effect. Tinitza's using more battery to try and stay ahead of Alex, but Alex has got some good pace. He's managing the ERS to good effect, but he's got to make sure he just stays within that 1 second so he can get the DRS and run down towards the end of the Kemmel straight into the comp.
Yeah, and even getting it on the start finish straight, because you can eke out a couple of tenths and then you can really start to build your attack for the Kemmel straight, which is the main overtaking area on this track. And look at that, it's now nearly 8 tenths now between the two. Yeah,
and you can see Alex is pushing. It's Italian on German action. Let's see who comes out on top. It's Toro Rosso versus Force India. And I think Alex is going to have a run at him this time, down towards Lake Calm. And of course, because the Kemmel Straight is an uphill drag, the DRS is very powerful down the Kemmel Straight. But is he within that range this time? I think he is going to be. He needs to run up Radion, and I think he's going to have it this time.
He is in DRS range. I don't think he'll be close enough to make a move, but he'll certainly be close enough to use the DRS just to close the gap ever so slightly. But he's building the pressure on Tinitza now.
Yep, I've just been told actually Curley is in 3rd at the moment, and McGrady is 6th.
Well, that's not confusing picture at all for the viewers, but it is what it is. Yeah. But what we do know is that the top two is Tinitza and Alex, and they're hopefully going to put on a fabulous battle to end this race, because Alex is pushing like a madman to ensure that he is the winner, even though it's not a league race of the first AOR PS4 contest of the F1 2018 era.
Yeah, this is all getting us hyped up for season 16. These two drivers, of course, all set to be in AOR F1. And Tinitza I haven't seen before, but he's really making his mark early on in the 2018 season. And let's see, Alex is closer than he has been in the past few laps. He's getting a really huge toll down towards Blanchimont. I don't think he's going to have a go into the bus stop, but he may have a go into La Source. Down towards the bus stop, he's really close now. Yeah. On the brakes, he's now right up behind Tanitsa.
Yeah, Tanitsa riding the curbs slightly on the right hand side, and that wouldn't have helped his exit. And that's just going to give Alex all the invitation he needs to close in. But I don't think Alex is going to go for a move at La Source. It's not really worth it. And he's forced Tanitsa to lock up his rear tyres. So now Alex, but a slight twitch of oversteer from Alex out of La Source. That might cost him the opportunity to go for a move here, but we're about to see. So they ride up one of the great... Oh, and a big snap from Alex, but he keeps it. He keeps his foot down, and now he's getting closer and closer.
Yeah, here he goes down towards their calm. He's already got it done as we run into their calm. He's got it done around the outside. He had a heart-stopping moment. Tanitsa's coming back in, and there's a little bit of contact. Tanitsa really wants this win, but Alex is through. Alex, he had a huge moment of radio. I thought he was gone.
Yep. Well, Alex has been building that move up for about 4 laps. But when he had that snap out of La Source, he might have lost momentum and then almost lost the car completely at the top of Radion. But he kept his foot to the floor, and he then pulled off a masterful move around the outside into Lacombe. And now he is leading this race with just under 4.5 laps to go.
Yeah, I think the little extra tyre life may have helped him a little bit there. Maybe see if Tanitsa can maybe stick with him and come back in him, but he's already pulling a gap to these guys, and we're not quite sure how far Curly is behind, because he could be in this battle, we just can't see.
Yep, a wild Curly may suddenly appear on our screens right in this battle, but we can't really see. They're unfortunately desynced from our view, not in the lobby itself apparently though. So that's at least a positive.
Yeah, Tanitsa absolutely lining up the race. He's not letting Alex go easily. Let's see, into La Source. Can he get a run on Alex? Maybe he will have DRS. Let's see if he can come back at him.
Yeah, well, if Alex has a similar problem with Radion last lap, it might give Tanitsa an opportunity. And yeah, Alex actually backs off a little bit. Maybe remembering previous lap, but Tanitsa just didn't seem to have the grip to really close in. So if Alex can get out of DRS range, I think this contest in terms of the race is over.
Yeah, Alex, he's just a little bit more tentative up Eau Rouge. I think he's just had a bit of that scared him quite a little bit there. Tanitsa kept his foot planted, of course, but now we're waiting to see if Tanitsa can maybe mount an attack on him once again. And we have another retirement. Elite Game Boy is out of this race.
Yeah. Well, we've had lots of retirements, but who knows if most of these guys have actually retired. They could be running for all we know.
Yeah, I just watched Alex have a bit of a twitch through Pouon. So maybe his tyres are starting to see the end of their life now. So this could start to even out, because he's now starting to slide the car through every corner. And Tanitsa, I think, might actually come back at him.
It could well do. Now, Michael's been on the mediums the longest in terms of those in top 5. He's been on for 13 laps, but of course we think he's not in 4th place. He might be as low as 5th, if indeed Curly is where he should be.
Yep. So now keeping an eye on Tanitsa on the exit of the bus stop. He is still sticking with Alex. As we run on to lap 20, we've got 3 laps to go. This battle is not over.
No. Well, Tanitsa's stored some battery. He's now got 75% battery. Alex only has 33, and actually there's a fuel indicator coming on for Alex as well. It's not actually telling me how much fuel he's got. I'm just trying to see what mode he's in. It's not really saying on the steering wheel, but yeah, there's a yellow fuel indicator coming on for the Toro Rosso driver, so this is maybe why Tanitsa is able to come back at him.
Yeah, but just looking on board, it's just the Force India doesn't have the straight line speed. Alex has got huge straight line speed in that Toro Rosso, but I think it's in these tight and twisty sections that Tanitsa's gaining the time back. His quickest sector, I think, is sector 3. So I think he's going to have to stick behind and wait for now, build his momentum, try and find the space, and this could yet turn into a really, really nice battle in the dying 2 laps.
Could indeed, and they really risking it, both of them. going slightly on.
Curly has appeared. Curly has appeared in our screens once again. He's
A wild
fixed.
Curly has appeared. I did mention it. Let's have a look at him quickly. And there he is. The Haas has returned. Sounds like a great movie. But Curly is back on track with us. He's done 0 laps on the Supersoft, so maybe another pit stop. Well, actually he's on the soft, so that just confuses the matter even more. But
yeah, Tanitsa's getting a huge toll down towards Blanchimont, down towards the bus stop. I think there's going to be a move on here, potentially, as we come to the end of lap 20. Tanitsa trying to get the push on. And I think actually Alex may have a few penalties to his name as well, so this could work out differently. But look at Tanitsa, he's all over the back of him here as we run down towards Eau Rouge and Radillon. What can he do? He's going to get the slipstream into Eau Rouge, up Radillon.
Oh, they're so close. Alex seemingly... Is he fuel saving though? Is that why his straight line speed suddenly seems to not to be there?
Yeah, Tanitsa's hit. He's going to slingshot past him. Tanitsa takes the lead once again from Alex. And now can Alex... Maybe that fuel saving has affected him because his battery level is really low. I think he just put too much effort in to try and get past Tanitsa. Tanitsa saved his battery, saved his fuel, and now he's got back past the German into the lead of this race. And we've got a lap and a half left to go.
Yeah. Alex has put his battery down to 1. Still getting a fuel indicator. So, but is that the end, or has Alex got one last attack left in him? Might only need to get past him once and then just try and hang on to the end.
Well, Curly's back in the pits again, so that didn't last long.
Yeah, well, it may have been a ghost car. Well, we can say Apple's had a pretty good race wherever he's finished. I think AOR admins will have to put the actual result after the race. I mean, who knows? These two could be at the back of the grids, but no, I'm sure Tanitsa and Alex are definitely going to be your top 2 unless Alex runs out of fuel or something. And he is dropping back. I think he is still preserving a bit of fuel.
Yeah, he's not going to give this one up easy though. We're on to the final lap of the first AOR social race on F1 2018. The battle between Tanitsa and Alex rages on, but I think Alex may have put too much effort into getting past Tanitsa, and I think he may just have lost this race.
Yeah, he's got red fuel indicator now, so he might even struggle to finish. It's one of the longest laps. You don't want to run out of fuel here. But yeah, Tanitsa is looking absolutely brilliant to win this social race right now. We thought it might have been over when he was overtaken, but he's been crafty, hasn't he? He's sort of saved the battery, he saved the fuel. But he's got a red indicator as well.
Yeah, I think they're both doing their own different fuel-saving modes, because Alex got a huge toll down the Kemmel Straight as he was using his battery to try and get up to Tanitsa, but I think that might have been his only opportunity around this lap, unless he can close up in this middle sector and try it into the bus stop for one last lunge.
Right, let's see Tanitsa, how does he handle Pouon? The last lap here at Spa-Francorchamps. It's been a, shall we say, interesting evening, but when it's actually worked, we have seen some really good on-track action, and hopefully, if some of the other issues are fixed, it's a good portent for the seasons to come in AOR.
Yeah, let's just hope that the issues that we have had are solved for future. Some of them are quite annoying, but I think Colby's will be watching this. They will be taking note of all of this, so they will be keeping an eye on everything. I think done enough. He's coming towards the bus stop for the final time. He's about to, at the end of this, he's going to take the honours of being the first winner on F1 2018 in AOR. David Tanitsa comes to the line. He wins in Spa-Francorchamps. Alex comes second. It was a great battle in the end, but he actually lost by 6 seconds in the end. Yeah,
because of penalties, but no unfair. Well, we think Curly might have finished third, but we'll have to just stay as it is in terms of broadcast. So Prenta crosses the line in third. Will he finish there? Yes. Michael finishes in fourth. Quite a few penalties. And now here's Apple in fifth. And he's had a fine race. Oh, Curly's back again. He's back in the pits.
There he is.
He's finished fifth in the pits. Nice one. He's done a Schumacher from '98.
Advance Apple comes to the line. He finishes sixth after starting last on the grid. Frandy Thompson will take 7th, and then McGrady has reappeared on our screens. There he is in 8th. And that strategy really didn't work out for him in the end.
No, it didn't. Well, we're on board with the race winner, Tanitsa. He would have enjoyed that. It's a good start to his pre-season. And is he in AOR F1 or is he an F2 driver? I couldn't remember.
I don't actually know, but he's certainly going to be in F1 now that everybody's seen his pace. Tim Palm finished 8th, 20 laps down, and McGrady is, oh god, on my screen. He's had an issue. He's back in the pit lane. He's finished 9th.
Well, the final result may be, to be fair, it's a social race, so the result, it's more for really just getting a bit of confidence in the new game. But we have seen some weird issues, but hopefully it's just one of those day one things, and we can then, well, we still have the podium celebration. That at least hasn't glitched, even though the podium might be completely wrong. But we know that David Tanitsa has won this Belgium AOR social race in fine style. It was entertaining, it was good. Alex may have something to think about if Tanitsa is in F1 with him, but a long way to go and plenty of practice to come for these drivers until we start the new AOR seasons. So any initial thoughts on the game and this race, Soup?
Well, I think we can all agree that the game has some niggling issues, but there are some promising signs. The spectator mode is top notch with all the extra features on there. It's really helpful, and the racing is promising. Everybody seems very close together, and we may see a new F1 champion season 16 in David Tanitsa. He may have just cemented himself in the F1 community there.
Absolutely. Well, thanks very much everyone who is watching for your patience. It's been slightly tricky, but I think there was some entertaining action there, and we will see you on the official AOR channel for the next streams for the Xbox and PS4 tiers. So if you enjoyed the stream tonight despite the issues, please leave a like and subscribe to AOR's YouTube channel if you haven't done so already, so you don't miss a single race. I've been Gaming Anamonda, he's been Soup. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.